Hello everyone and welcome to our track guide for this week. This week we're at Twin Ring Motegi, the oval. Measures in about 1.5 miles long. It's egg-shaped. It's a very unique oval. So let's go ahead and take some onboard laps here. Heading towards turn 1, we're going to take a nice high arcing entry into the corner. We're going to bring it all the way to the bottom in turn 2. Hold the white line as long as we can. Let the car naturally drift up out of the corner and onto the back stretch. Heading towards turn 3, we're actually going to brake for this corner. Just past the 100-meter board. Turn in for the corner, downshift to third gear. Roll to center, get on the throttle as soon as we can. Off of turn 4. Turns 3 and 4 can get particularly tricky. We'll examine it later on in this video. In terms of our overall pace and lap times though, getting on top of your in-car tools is going to be vitally important. So you've got your front ARB, your rear ARB, and your Weightjacker. If you're tight on entry, positive Weightjacker will help. You can also soften the front ARB. On corner exit, you can stiffen the rear ARB to help get that turn off the corner as well. Motegi is essentially a one-lane track, so while you're running in traffic, this is the line you'll usually use, otherwise the high line you'll lose too much speed. But we'll go ahead and examine some other quick tips right now. So turn 1 and 2 is pretty easy flat out, but turns 3 and 4 is one of the few ovals that requires braking in the IndyCar. So as we enter this corner, we're going to brake just past the 100-meter board, conducting our turning here, being nice and smooth on entry. Of course, this is slow motion, so it looks smooth. But we want to hold this line, and we don't want to steer too much. Now, we also don't want to steer too little, otherwise we may hit the wall here. So this layout will take some time getting used to, as it's not a typical oval. Since Motegi is essentially a one-lane track, you're going to spend a lot of time running in that lane behind other cars unless you're the leader. So there's a few things we can take note of here. In the middle of the corner, be prepared to have a sudden loss of downforce, especially if there's a car that suddenly sweeps across your nose. We want to anticipate this by lifting early, as well as rolling out of the throttle on corner exits if behind another car. Here's an example of where I pinned the throttle and wasn't paying attention and hit the wall. We can also mitigate the dirty air or the aero push by having a higher entry and then sweeping down. So in this case here, running a slightly higher lane than the car in front, staying on full throttle, and then sweeping down low, getting the slipstream on corner exit. The single lane track and the aero push will make passing difficult, but not impossible. In turn 1, if you can simply dive low and get to the white line, you should be able to clear the car in front of you. In some cases though, you will be battling side by side, and in these cases, if you can't clear the car off of turn 2, you'll be running side by side into turn 3, and basically whoever has the low line in turn 3 usually will pull ahead. However, a race situation can always differ, so you should always take note of the behavior of other cars around you as well as the availability of clean air. Pit entry isn't too difficult, as we've already done most of the work by entering turn 3 and braking. We simply stay on the brakes and let the car glide on the apron towards the cones. So in summary, be active with your in-car tools, run the bottom when able, lift early and often in traffic, and don't overdrive turn 3 and 4. And with that, that's our basic track guide for Motegi. If you'd like to read more information about the IndyCar and Motegi this week, check below in the description for a link to the iRacing weekly forum thread, as well as an invite to the IndyCar community Discord.